Agents, you are building businesses. You are the CEO of your business. So you should not be doing business with anybody who's not doing business with you. You're not just a real estate agent. That is not what you do. You do so much more. You have an audience where you solve big problems. You solve big problems, and you have to have that unique value proposition on how you do it differently than anybody else in your marketplace.
Welcome back to the Agents Who Crush It in Real Estate podcast. I'm your host, Lindsay Favazza, and today we're talking with a real estate powerhouse, Amy Stockberger. Amy leads a legacy-driven, top-producing team in South Dakota, and her philosophy of serve, 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 sell has been instrumental in building a business that's all about giving value and creating long-lasting client relationships. She's not just focused on making sales. She's built her business around serving people first and letting the sales naturally follow. Amy is known for her unique approach to creating additional revenue streams that extend beyond commission income. And she's here to teach agents how they can set themselves up for long-term success through a client-focused mindset. If you're ready to learn how to create a thriving, sustainable business, then you're going to want to stay tuned to this episode. Without further ado, let me bring Amy on. Welcome to the podcast today, Amy.
Good morning, Lindsay. How are you? I feel like we're almost best friends now.
We talked for like 5 minutes and now we're besties. Well, it has a lot to do with your love for the Red Sox. So, not Sox. Everyone's instant besties right away.
We just pissed off a lot of people, by the way.
We did. They all just tuned out. They were like, we're done with this. So let's go back to the beginning like we always do at the beginning of these episodes, because I want to get your origin story. How did you get into real estate? What were you doing before? Give it to us all.
Okay. So I graduated from college, and my whole plan, my entire life, it seems like, was to go into law school. Didn't get accepted into law school, got accepted into the summer dummy program is what it's called. So I was like, do you know what? I think I might shift gears. And my dad had owned a Coldwell Banker at the time. And he did what I call the opposite of nepotism. And he hired me and paid me $24,000, put me in a really dark, damp back office, and really just said sink or swim, which was the best thing he could have done for me.
Yeah.
And I fell in love with it from the back end. So I've worn almost all the hats in this industry. So I was admin, did relocation, department back then. Then I got licensed and became a buyer's agent for my stepmom for like a hot second. Had pregnant with my first baby and decided, I'm going to go and do this by myself. Was a single agent for another hot second. Got my sister licensed, hired a part-time assistant, and just decided to put my head down and just grind. And so I've been doing it for 24 years now. When I was in the business for about 6 years, my husband left the lending world and came over and joined us. And that's when I took a hobby that was paying me good money and turned it into a business. Because he, with his business sense behind it, because I say that I have earned a PhD in failing forward. I do it all the time and figure out all the ways not to do things so that I can systemize them and do them at a high level, a different way. And ever since Adam joined, we've just been scaling and growing. In 2014, which we're going to get more into, but that's where I found a major hole in my business and a major hole I felt in the industry that had us create something that is really special, and it changed our lives, changed our clients' lives, changed our agents' lives. And we've been a teamerage now. We've been a brokerage since 2019 and run as a teamerage. We have about 20 some agents. We've been the highest producing team in our state since 2017. My agents handle about 10% of the market share. And we created a model called Lifetime Home Support that helps us serve clients before, during, and forever.
Wow, that's awesome. All right, we're going to come back to teamerage term because I'm very intrigued by that. But I want to first ask, so you had mentioned that you fail forward. I love that.
Yes,
tell me how in those beginning days, what were some of the things that you failed that you wish you had known back then when you were first starting out?
Oh my goodness. Well, I think there's so many shiny objects in this industry, more than any other industry in the world, I swear. And so I was just going at it, grabbing every shiny object I could to try to put in as a lead pillar. And it didn't make any sense. And which really led me to finding out, where this big hole was, that our sphere is always going to be our biggest lead source. And I didn't understand that. And I didn't understand that authenticity and serving with authenticity back then was the only way to grow a business that was going to help the humans through all those different stages. And so I felt like I was just throwing in all these lead pillars, doing them halfway, not getting what I needed out of them. And they weren't anything that was resonating with my soul or with our clients for life, because they weren't authentic. They weren't authentic. And they were just so many of them that just didn't work. It was all shiny object. Like, this is going to put another 20 leads into your business. Well, pick your hard. Yeah. Pick your hard. You have to work it. It's still dressed in overalls and looks like work, because guess what? It's work.
It's going to be work.
Yeah, it's work. And so I think there was just putting too many lead pillars in, and systems are one of my superpowers, but also sometimes our superpowers can be our Achilles heel. And I think I over systemized. We used to have, like, it's actually a joke in our company that I say checklist, they say drink, because my checklists are living, breathing entities within my company. But I think I over systemized some things that added too much to the process.
Rigidity.
Yeah, it was just too much. And so then long-term scalability was shrunk too, because I couldn't scale because I had so many staff that were working it that it didn't make sense. So that was one thing I didn't work. But the biggest thing that I taught all my agents this, which is why I created my systems, is since I did so many things wrong, that I was working 15 hours a day, 7 days a week. I missed out on so much of my child's life. It interfered with my marriage, my health. I mean, there's so much. Like, my oldest son, actually, he works with us now, but that kid's done more open houses than most real estate agents. Yeah. He could price a house, when he was in elementary school. And so, like, that was just the way it was. But I just did it wrong, because I didn't have my priorities straight, knowing that your sphere is your biggest lead source. So I should have just tripled, quadrupled, tenfold down on my sphere from the beginning, and then created a system to stay in front of them forever. And I would have scaled so much faster. And that's what I help my agents do.
Yeah. So tell me what this teamerage term means and how your structure is at your company, so that we can understand kind of, how it all works and how you train the agents and all of that.
So teamerage, it basically means we're a brokerage, but we still run as a team. So we offer a lot of support for our agents and for our clients. So meaning we do, the transaction management, listing coordination, but we also have lead generation that we do for them, and a lot of just hands-on training for them to help them, sharpen their tools as much as they can, so they can serve at a high level. Like, the vision of our company and my DNA, my vision is to build big, juicy legacies for everybody in our ecosystem, from our clients to our agents to our staff to our community. And the best way I feel doing that is sharpening their tools, letting them skip levels of all the things, that the mistakes I've made, to help them have a blueprint to build a business that they love. And that'll also give them a really healthy exit strategy down the road. And all the while serving the client through all of their human existence stages, not just their home ownership journey.
Yeah. So, all right. I'm throwing up my pen. Let's get into it.
Okay.
What is this process? Because I know people keep hearing it, so they're like, what is this? What is the system? What is the process? Yeah. What is it that you teach? So go for it.
Go for it. Okay. So I'm going to tell you the problem, how I came to this in 2014. Yeah. So we were killing the before and during. Again, we're systems people. I had a lot of systems. So we had this streamlined. There just wasn't anything that was really falling through the cracks at that time. And if there was, it became a part of a checklist. So killing it before and during. Clients were loving us, really, really happy. We were scaling, but we were not getting that repeat and referral business. And we were not keeping clients for life. And it was driving me crazy. I couldn't believe it. Like, 8 clients would come up to me who said they loved me and loved my agents, and then talk about their sister moving into town. And we're like, what? Why were we not involved? Where are we at with this? And at that time, I was running a billboard ad campaign. And the only campaign goal when I was setting up this campaign every single year was like $25,000 to $35,000 a year. The campaign goal was to remind the people who knew, like, and trusted us to use us and refer us. And I thought I was so damn smart. I'm like, here, I'm going to put my face on a billboard. They're going to be able to see that. They'll remember then. We'll put our brand on a billboard. They'll remember then. Well, guess what? It didn't work, right? It was brand awareness, if anything, but there was also in our town, there was like 7 or 8 of us doing it. So it was so silly. And we were like anywhere real estate agent. And I went down this deep hole of like, okay, what is my point of difference? And I came up with that I was the local expert at connecting buyers and sellers. Wow. Well, that's my exact job description. That's my table stakes. It's like having a surgeon advertise on a billboard that they have steady hands. Okay, good.
Better.
Or an attorney who says, "Hey, I passed the bar. Call me." Like that's table stakes. Like we should be good at that. We should get sellers top dollar, shortest amount of time, least amount of hassle. We should find buyers a house that matches their parameters and their budget. Yeah, those are our job description. What was I doing beyond that? And I couldn't find anything that I was doing besides really caring for my clients, but it wasn't showing. So I went down, I tried to find them. I wanted a blueprint because that's what we all want. We all want a blueprint, a copy and paste way to put into our business so that we can skip the levels. We can take away the mistakes somebody else made and do it. And I couldn't find anything besides pop buys, how to do a pop buy, how to do a client event. Well, those aren't things that were going to serve them. So it's like, do you know what? I'm going to create something. So we created what we call is our VIP club, and our clients get access to it for life by buying, selling, or investing. And the whole business model itself is called lifetime home support. And it's having a system and strategy for every step of the home buying and selling process before, during, and forever. And our clients can save up to $20,000 in the first year, and the support and savings continue for life. And the basics of it starts with the VIP club. We have a moving truck, nothing revolutionary at all. But we put a moving truck in, clients could use it for life, but wanting to reduce expenses, and I call it stealing from Amazon, taking that brilliant concept Amazon uses of turning a cost center into a profit center. I had vendors pay for ad space, sold it to them, and made money on the truck. So my truck cash flowed.
Wow, nice.
So put that into place. Super easy. Again, nothing revolutionary, but it was a billboard on wheels. It was serving my clients. I could shut off those awful other billboards I was doing that were not making me anything different, because it wasn't multifunctional at all. It was just our brand on a board. But so this was making us money, profitable billboard on wheels, and it's a community give back. That's a brand awareness piece, as well as aligning us as that organization's real estate or team brokerage of choice, because we also were using it as a lead generation opportunity, which again, and this is what I was missing. And I say this all the time to my agents, that if our sphere is our biggest lead source, our number one job should always be increasing the number of our sphere. Always. That should be our number one job. And so how could I do that? How could I increase my sphere while I was solving all these other problems, like clients for life, trying to turn cost centers into profit centers? Well, that was an easy way to do it. And so that was the first level. And at the same time, we created a party and a tool shed option too. So think of everything that happens in a human's home ownership journey. We have wheelbarrows, ladders, commercial grade paint sprayers, big, any type of specialty tool they need, they can come get from us for life for free. Wow. But I branded everything. So my name's on all of it. Same with our party supply. So think of all the things that happen in the our human experience journey, all the parties, events, all the good stuff and the sad stuff. So we added in like banquet tables and chairs, bouncy houses, cotton candy, snow cone, popcorn machines, margarita machines. I don't know why I don't have this. Somebody agent just said this to me. He's like, do you not have a karaoke machine? I'm like, I will now.
Now I'm going to. You're gonna have a smoke machine, a bubble machine, all the things.
Right. Yes. We have any type of game you can think of, we have, but it's all branded to us. So these clients come and get these things. They're not doing it by themselves. They have all these friends and family with our name everywhere. And it's just a natural law of reciprocity at work in the models, a serve, sell model, like you mentioned. And that's our approach, that we went after going, okay, how can we authentically serve their wants, needs, and desires through their whole human experience, that they would naturally have that law of reciprocity, that why would any other team or brokerage's name come out of their mouth when anybody within their community, their sphere, their eco has a life change?
Yeah.
And so it was just the growth of that. So we added that. And then we also added an online discount center. They can save $5,300 a year from big box items. We upped our client event game, but have other people pay for it, and just laid a genuine foundation of love. And it was really at that same time, I was given the book, The Go-Giver, which led me to these other books that are around the same, Tribes and Raving Fans. And it's all the same concept. If you come from authentic service, sales do follow.
Yeah.
And so that was the ground, the beginning of our lifetime home support model, and it worked. It worked really well. We became the highest producing team in our state within 2 years of me creating that, and have stayed there since.
And I'm sure your agents just love to be able to plug into this and to be able to have that as a backing. Tell me how it's helped them and how it's changed kind of their business.
Well, it's the whole program, Lifetime Home Support, turns one client into 5 clients for them. So it builds them a business, a beautiful book of business with repeat and referral built in because of the lifetime value. So we have an average 7-year agent tenure, which in our industry is really high, very, very high. And it allows them to stay sticky to their clients. It just does, where their clients are coming to them because they have something to give, because agents don't mean to lose track of their clients. They don't mean to stay, lose touch with them. They just run out of ways to stay connected. And so this gives them an easy way to stay connected. So we also created software for this just to help run the whole program, but it's also set up so that when one of our clients checks out a piece of equipment, my agents get a notification so they can make an authentic call like, hey, you checked out the bouncy house. How's Susie doing? Who do you know that has a life change coming up? Where they're staying authentically there in a serving way. And the clients are coming to us to get things from us, which by human nature kicks in that law of reciprocity. When somebody gives you something, you feel compelled to give back in kind. And how that in kind is through repeat and referral business.
So tell me a little bit more about how the system works. So an agent closes a deal with a client that's a first-time client. And then is there communication with them about, oh, now you have the ability to do this? Or is it just through are you in like a Facebook group that they all get to add? Like, how does the actual inner workings happen?
Well, it's omnipresent throughout our entire communication stack. So it's in our onboarding. It's like the hook actually that our agents use, like in their first buyer appointments or first seller appointments. That on top of us being the local experts at connecting buyers and sellers, we also have this lifetime home support model where you get, and then we go through all these different value props that they get with us, and we cater them to that specific client, because every client has a different, like if it's a first time home buyer, maybe the moving truck is a big part of it. If it's a luxury client, maybe it's just having all these access to any of the tools or party equipment or the onlines or all these things, because all of our demographics use it. It's not just our first time home buyers. Our luxury clients use these too. So it's in the hook part of it. That's in their buyer presentations, seller presentations, and then it lives in all of our nurture sequences. So when they go into contract and are onboarded, they're going to constantly being reminded of this. They get invited to the software, so they get to come in and see software that's specific to them, branded to my company, branded to my agents, keeping it so they can go out and check out all these items at any time, and staying in front of them as a place of resource serving them. And then of course, after the transaction, and we don't have past clients. We haven't had a past client since 2014. We have clients for life. Yep. So after they close, and go through their transaction, it's a continual where they're staying everything in contact. And then as we add in, and the nice part is, as we add in new parts to the program, it's an easy contact. Like, hey, we just added in this. We just added in, this new, like we just got a new industrial margarita machine. Like that's just like one of our last ones we put in there. Like here, the slushies for the kids are margs for the adults. So it's a place of talking, a talking point that's serving and not like commission breath. Like, hey, who do you know who wants to buy or sell a house? Which is awful. Nobody likes to say that.
No. Of course, it's not comfortable for the agent, and no one wants to hear it either.
Right.
And at the moment, they're not going to be like, oh, let me give you my list of people that have mentioned it in the last 6 months. Like, it's got to be top of mind. And what you're doing is you're inserting yourself really in their day to day, if maybe they're week to week, so that they're constantly thinking of you, which will make your name come out of their mouth when that person mentions it, which is so smart. So I have so many questions. We only have 6 minutes left. So as far as communication goes, do you guys have, monthly emails, monthly direct mail, postcards? Like, what other kind of marketing things do you do to also keep in touch with them as well?
Well, it's it's in a nurture sequence, but I have done this, and I haven't actually, you're the first person I'm telling this, because I was going to wait till the end of the year. I shut off my newsletters,
and no one will hear.
I shut off my newsletters this year just as a test. I just wanted to see, for my clients, to see if I shut off my newsletters, would I lose any of my repeat and referral business? Because that's our biggest source of leads is our repeat and referrals. We have an ISA department, but Zillow is second to our ISAs, and we do that just to kind of fill in the cracks for some things. But we didn't. We're actually above. Like in May, we had 800 pieces of equipment rented out. We had 50 some sphere referrals given in May within our company. And so this year I am changing. I'm going to add something in for 25, but I just wanted to test it. Like, okay, I want to test my model to see if it works because I know it does, but I just wanted to double check on it. We do have a pretty strong client events. We do 5 client events, but everything we have the SMS blasts that go out for all of those, but all their nurture sequence, just the emails they get are just casual reminders. And keep in mind, these clients, like my ad spend is low because these clients become my advertisers. They're the ones advertising for us. Like so I can't even tell you how many posts I see when somebody needs something. They're like, well, our real estate agent has that. Why wouldn't you use them? Like, why wouldn't you use this? Why wouldn't you do this? Because then we took it up another level. So we have 6 minutes. I'm going to go fast. Here we go. Okay. So we took it up another level because we as real estate agents are super connectors. And we connect clients to buyers and sellers, but we also connect them to everything they need for all of their home ownership and human experience journey. So think of, they come to us to who should they use for HVAC, electrician, lawn care, dentist. And so what I decided to do, and I had this in my brain forever, and it took me a while to get it figured out, but we have it figured out, and it works so lovely for our clients, in that we created a vendor program. We call it our home support team, and it consists of all these local partners. We have about 100 of them in our vendor program that give our clients legendary care like we do, preferential treatment. Some of them give preferential pricing, and these companies pay me $3,500 a year to be a part of the program. So it's a profit center for us. However, they also, to be a part of the program, have to give us access to their employees, where we get to come in. I created a business development department where he goes in and gives them everything that they get by working at these vendors, places of business. But they also get to come in and talk about us, about how we do things very differently. Again, and then we get them signed up for the program. We put all their employees within our nurture sequence, again, showing value to them, giving them these things of service first, serve, then sell, where again, we become the obvious choice when they are somebody they know has a life change. And again, it's just growing that sphere in a authentic way where it's not just me, again, commission breath. It's me like, here, this is how I can help your human existence. But then when you know of someone with a life change, we just become the one that they're contacting.
Yeah, it's automatically going to happen. It's not even going to be a question.
Right.
That's amazing. I love it. So who are some of the partners that are within your network? Like, you have all this equipment and things that you've, purchased on your own, but what are some of the vendor partners that you have within your sphere?
Yeah, everything home related. So if you think of from window cleaners to carpet cleaners to HVAC, electrician, handyman, contractors. We even have we have a restaurant, we have spas, we have a food tours. We have all these things that they need because we set it up because again, my goal is to help everybody grow, but we get them in front of our audience, and our audience needs these things. We know they do. It's proof that that's what we are as agents. We're their connectors. And then we help them with their B2B. We help them with their, I call it the H to H. That's the biggest thing. If you're not focusing on your human to human, it doesn't matter what you're doing with your B2C or your B2B, your human to human contact, your human to human strategy. If that isn't dialed in, it's not going to come together. It's just not going to. And that's what I found was missing in my business in 14. I just kept working my butt off, but because my H to H wasn't in line, it wasn't working.
I mean, it sounds like pre-2014, you were going through the motions. You were just trying to be a good agent. You were just trying to do the right by your client when it came to buying and selling. But then you realized that there's this whole other side of it, which is just being a part of your community and helping the people within your community. And that's what really has just opened up this whole other world for you. And it's really inspiring. It's such a simple concept.
Right.
But the problem
I'm not a genius at all. I'm not a genius at all.
Mean, you are because you're doing it. And that's the thing. No one else is doing it. And the reason that they're not is because it isn't easy to think through all the nuances of it. So how did you bite it up? Like, so for the agents that are listening right now that are like, holy crap, I want to do this, right? Because I know that they're pretty much everybody is doing that exact thing. But they're also thinking to themselves, oh crap, how would I actually do this? Like, what is your recommendation to kind of bite off a little bit of it and start to implement these kind of things into their business until they're, 10 years down the line and they now have this whole new part of their business? Like, how would you recommend doing that?
Well, first, I'm going to give you, so again, your sphere is your biggest lead source. So I have a data bank is what I call our database. What you put in, you get out. So your data bank developer. So I'm going to give you, for your audience, a copy of my data bank developer for you to give out to them. And in that, it's just a memory jog on how they should put it into their recurrence in their calendar to do every 90 days. Every 90 days they do this because your data bank changes every 90 days. And I actually have it as a reoccurrence on Fridays too. Who did I not put in my data bank that I should have? Just like another memory jog on that. But give it that data bank developer. In there, it shows you, who you need to put in there, where to find their contact information, how to get it without sounding, again, to commission breathy. But it also includes a recruitment list for a leads group and or a vendor program of the best industries that work with those programs. And so they can go in because every agent has this list already. They already have their vendors. They have the people who they're feeding business to. And agents, you're building businesses. You're the CEO of your business. So you should not be doing business with anybody who's not doing business with you.
Say it loud for the people in the back, because I don't think agents realize, like, you're a business. Yeah, you work for a brokerage, but you're a business.
Right. Oh, I was doing a hobby. I was running a hobby that I was really good at. But until my husband came in and we made it a business. And then I looked at him like, we are doing something like this is, and it was 2009 when he came in. So we did a lot of praying. We did a lot of drinking and praying at that point. Because oh dear Lord, it's 2009. But when we were, just our, both of us together doing this, no guaranteed income. But if you run it like a business, if you systemize it, and that's another thing too, like, so agents first, I guess, let me answer that. Grab that data bank developer, do it every 90 days, do it right now. The wrinkle in time in November for planning your business is right now, is right now. And then put together a system on how you're going to build out that vendor program, start offering them things for free right now as you're growing, get them in there, start making sure that you're communicating. They know your value story. Your 30-second value story should be something you have down, kidnapped, bag over head, can say to anybody, anywhere effectively, who you help, how you do it differently by how you solve their problems with your unique approach. You need to be able to communicate that so that everybody knows how to refer you. Because that's the other thing, like, you're not just a real estate agent. That is not what you do. You do so much more. You have an audience where you solve big problems. You solve big problems, and you have to have that unique value proposition on how you do it differently than anybody else in your marketplace. So now is the time to think through that. What is my unique value proposition? Where is my point of difference compared to my competitors? And man, if I had ChatGPT back when I started this,
I was going to say 2014, you did this on your own.
Oh, Google, old Googs wasn't the way it was. I mean, seriously, Googs was not the way it was. I was like, it was all just me. And again, it was PhD and failing forward, which I'm so happy we did, because it was able to figure out how not to do things so that I can help agents do it the right way now. I love that. And then they need to, I'm really passionate about this too. The human brain, what's not going to ever change about us humans is how our brains work. It just is. Like, the consumers demand more. And what's happening with our industry is that there's been so much perceived lack of value that's why we're in the situation we're in. So you have to have, regardless if you want to or not, you have to change your business model. You have to. It's not just about the transaction. You have to stop being transactional and become transformational to survive. You do. And even with 25 likely going to be a very different year than 24 and 23, based upon where we're at in today's day, actually.
Literally today.
That even then, the ones who are making the difference in the human experience because of what our humans have been through in the last 2 years are going to be the ones who are touching them and serving them at all their different points of life. And so I feel you have to have a system as well to reinforce that referral behavior, to make sure, like, when you are getting those referrals, what are you doing for those clients to reinforce that positive referral behavior? And if I will give you guys this actually. So I'm gonna give you the data bank developer to put in your show notes.
Yep.
But if they go out to Instagram and just follow me on Instagram at Amy Stockberger and just send me Crush It, I'll send them my reinforced referral behavior checklist that they can put into their business so that because that's, again, as soon as you do that, just like with a child or with a husband, when they do something good, reinforce it right away.
Yeah.
A husband. Can you tell I have a husband? Reinforce it right away. I want that behavior back.
Exactly. I want you to keep doing the dishes.
Yes, exactly. Yes. Could you please keep cooking for me?
Yeah, please. I love that. And thank you for all the free, advice today, plus all the free giveaways and things like that. I just, you're serving our clients, our community of realtors that, follow us to hear these kind of nuggets, and you have just brought it today. So I am so grateful. I know our audience is grateful. So on behalf of them, I just want to say thank you so much, Amy. This has been awesome.
You're welcome. My vision, my dear, besides just locally, my vision is, wouldn't it be beautiful if we could turn our industry into a community of servipreneurs and not entrepreneurs? I mean, if we were servipreneurs,
girl, too. I keep writing down. I've got, teamerage. I've got data bank. I've got all these awesome key terms.
I'm trying to trademark servipreneur because I love that word so much. Like,
servipreneur is awesome.
Yeah. Why just be entrepreneurs? Entrepreneurs are sexy and awesome and fabulous. And I love an entrepreneur more than anything in the entire world. But man, servipreneur makes me really, really happy.
I love it. I'm going to put the TM right next to that for you.
There you go.
So thank you again, Amy, and thank you all for listening today. We appreciate you, and we want to make sure that other agents can hear about this in other markets and so on. So please make sure to go on and to share this episode today. Tell us and give us a review. If you're listening on any of your podcasts, give us a review for this podcast. Tell us how awesome this was, because I know you'll have nothing but good things to say. And I love you guys all so much for listening in. We also want to make sure that you are messaging Amy. So here's her real estate pages, but also, as she mentioned, you can just do the Amy Stockberger as well on Instagram. Send her a message, send it with Crush It as your message, and she'll send you some freebies as well. But we'll also put what we can in the show notes too. So double check there. And if you're watching on YouTube, it'll be in the description as well. So again, thank you so much. We really appreciated this today. And of course, I would expect nothing else because you're a Red Sox fan. So
yeah, well, there you go, Lindsay. Thanks for all you do for our industry. I love it. You're doing an awesome job. It's fun to see. I love it when people give back like you do too. So thank you.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys, we'll see you, or you'll hear us on the next episode of The Agents Who Crush It in Real Estate. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you for tuning in to the Agents Who Crush It in Real Estate podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, share it with your friends and colleagues, and leave a review on your favorite podcast platform. If you're interested in being a guest, email us at info@crushitinre.com. Thanks for listening, and don't forget to crush it in real estate.